Have you ever let things pass, like opportunities at work? For instance, they're going to select somebody to go represent your company. Maybe there's even an international trip with all the perks attached to it and all of that. And you get a chance to actually be able to say, I'm willing to go. And you pass, you let it go, and you're wondering why. It's like you're self-sabotaging yourself. You see what is good for you. All you need to do is step out and take it, but you don't. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to deal with self-doubt, especially if you're a female executive. So if you're a female and you're like a top professional, whatever field that you find yourself, because women tend to deal with self-doubt more, especially maybe African women. Maybe because the African culture was one that women were meant to be seen and not to be heard. And I think it's basically, if you look back through history, mostly women were not like at the fore of certain careers. And so you may even find yourself in a career where you're in a boardroom and you're the only female, or you're one of one or two female management staff where you are. And so if you're not careful, that already makes you begin to feel like, okay, I shouldn't be here. It's a man's world. Or you just begin to play some of those negative, limiting beliefs. So self-doubt basically is just not being sure or not being confident in yourself and in your abilities. That's simply what it is. So you have the abilities. We're not questioning your abilities now. You're good. You're good at what you do. You're good at your job. You know your onions. But you do not know how to. You go for meetings or you're picked to make a presentation, and every time you decline. Why? Because there's a program that is playing from the back of your mind that says you're not good enough, you're not going to do this well, I don't think I can do it, I think the next person can do it better. My question to you is that how long are you going to keep doing that? Because time waits for no one, like they say. People are going to move up in their careers. Your company is going to grow. They will need to lift people. And if you're not ready, you just get passed by. And then if you're not careful, you end up leaving or retiring, never having reached the level you could have reached, never having been able to enjoy the benefits that come with some of those offices. So today I'm really just sharing with you some of the negative effects of self-doubt. So it can really hamper your career growth. It can make you lose credibility. It can make you look like someone that is incompetent or doesn't know their job, and so on and so forth. So what are some of the things? And let me say this, self-doubt goes beyond just saying, I'm very strong on affirmations if you know me, but it goes beyond just having a set of affirmations, because usually it's very deep-seated. For example, look at this scenario. For instance, you as a child, you walk up to your mom and you want something, or maybe she had promised you or your dad and they said, okay, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to take you there, but she's having a bad day. Maybe her day just didn't start right, or maybe she went to work, she came back, had a bad day with the boss, needed money for something she didn't get, so just things happened around her life. And children are very good at getting what they want because they pester you until they get it. Mommy, remember I said this. Mommy, remember. And then somewhere along the line, she snaps back at you and she says, you're not getting it. I'm not taking you again. You're even naughty, and I'm not taking you because you're naughty. You don't deserve it. And you don't know anything about what she has gone through. You didn't know that she was having a bad day. You didn't know that she was, maybe even the money she was expecting to go spend, you didn't know that she didn't have it. The message you got was that you're not good enough, you're a pest, you're bothering me, I'm not going to take you, you don't deserve it. And then it becomes a program in your subconscious mind. There is a saying, give me the child and 7 years after I give you the man. That is to say, 7 years, it takes those formative years to decide or to put in programs in it. If you've been in any of my mindset sessions, you will know I talk about that. You know that we have programs that are running that are created not necessarily by us, but by our environment and by the circumstances and by experiences that we have, and they leave an indelible mark, and they define us, so to say. And then you now grow with that self-doubt, and it keeps coming up. So every time any good thing is coming, that program quickly comes to your brain, to the fore of your brain, and it says reminds you that you're not good enough. And then you do something to circumvent, something to sabotage yourself. And it keeps saying, so you see, I can tell you certain things, like say your affirmations, accept certain things, look out for what it is. Yes, those are things you should do. But I'll tell you 2 or 3 things that I think are very, very important when it comes to handling self-doubt. Number 1, surround yourself with the right environment, with the right set of people, because we're all products of our environment. So there's a limit to how much you can, if you're surrounded, if you're in the wrong environment, no matter how positive you want to be, that environment is going to affect you sooner or later. So if you're around negative people, if all your friends are always talking about how things are hard and how things are difficult and how you cannot, and how people are getting these good breaks because they're doing something bad, and how you are just not, things are just not working, and you keep that as your narrative, you're reinforcing that self-doubt. Pick your friends very, very carefully. Watch guard what gets inside of you. There's some people that are like they're 24/7, they want to listen to the news. Now, I'm a communications person, but I would advise you, usually there's no good news. Like I heard someone say that everything that is happening in the world today, good, bad, whatever, it has happened before, it's just happening to different people now. So you keep watching, you keep feeding yourself, there's war here, somebody got killed here, there's a kidnap, and that's all you keep hearing. And that's all you keep hearing. And what happens to you? And the people that create the news, they do that deliberately to keep you coming back. You understand? So, and before you know, you're now just so filled with all that negativity. So as much as possible, keep yourself. You walk into a place and the conversation is not like wholesome, leave. So that's one thing, some of the things that you can do. Now, you're protecting what comes in. The next thing you do is take out every junk that is in you that should not be there. Every junk that is in you that has already been put in there. And to do this, you may need to get a coach, you may need to get a mentor that can really sit with you, that can really, talk you through, that is specialized in being able to like take you back to those places or where the issues are, can identify it. Because sometimes some of the issues that we see at the fore, they're not really there. Deeper issues that have been lingering and they've been there long. So you may need professional help. Get a coach, get a mentor that can walk you through and help you. And of course, some of the things you can do with your affirmations, with meditation also. I know you can, your meditation is simply focusing on things, positive things, learning to be still, learning to listen, learning to like go inward and try and reprogram what is happening on the inside. Once you've done that, like you've taken out the things you need to take out, like working with a professional, you can also work with somebody to begin to put in the right thing. What are you deliberately, intentionally feeding your mind? What are you telling yourself? The next thing is to mind your self-talk. What do you say to yourself? You understand? Catch yourself when you say those negative things. I can't. I don't know how. I don't know. Those are not very positive, affirming words. Try and take certain things out of your vocabulary. Instead of saying I can't, say how can I? When you're faced with a challenge, instead of just assuming I don't know how to do this, say there's always a way out. So mind your self-talk. Begin to talk to yourself in a positive way. Then self-care and self-compassion. Be compassionate with you. Don't be too hard. Some of us are actually too hard on ourselves. We just feel that I'm not good enough. I'm not, you're just very hard on yourself. So you need to pet yourself. You need to care for yourself. You need to pamper yourself. You need to tell yourself how valuable you are. You need to love on yourself, because the truth is that if you don't do that, what happens is that when you keep going around with a limiting belief, it's like you're placing a lead. For instance, if you see yourself as a 5 out of 10 in your career, in terms of confidence, in terms of anything, you just see yourself as a 5. Chances are your colleagues, your boss, and other people are going to put a 3 tag on you. Because people are never going to really, there's something that comes out of you. There's this, you send out a message by the way you relate with people, by the way you show up for yourself, and people begin to now downplay you. So when you think, I'm just, okay, I'm a 5, I can manage. No, people are going to treat you like a 2 or a 3. So you need to learn to love yourself. You need to pamper yourself. You need to validate your successes, embrace challenges. So be ready to be willing to. So next time, what I want you to do for me is, next time that opportunity comes and you think you can't do it, but it's not like you're not competent on the job. It's just the confidence that is lacking. You lack confidence in your ability. Tell yourself that you can do it. And then just go and put your all to it. Practice it, learn it, do whatever you need to do. I struggled with this, and that's why, I see people and I want to help them. I struggle with it a lot. And I remember when I was in school, I read, and I'm going to just share the story with you, and I'm done. I read theater arts. And so I think in my second year or so, or third year, there was an audition for a play, The Marriage of Anansewa. It's a Ghanaian play. And my lecturer now said, Halima, go up and audition. And this is the Halima that doesn't talk, just very quiet. And people were even asking, because I chose theater arts as my first choice. And people were like, really, you, how, all of that. But that's a story for another day. Anyway, so I get on the stage and I begin to audition. And then as I even get on the stage, before I even opened my mouth, I heard one of my classmates say, she can't do it. Like in Nigerian parlance, she can't do it, Joe, let her come down, or something like that. And you see, that had been my story. I hear things like that and I will freeze and I will let that person define me. But somehow I had read a book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale, before then. And so instead of now, something in me just rose up and I just told myself, I'm going to do it. And so I auditioned and I got the part. Not only did I get the part, I worked so hard. We went on holiday. I had the book. I would stand in front of the mirror. I would take my lines. I put in and that was one of the things that broke the camel's back for self-doubt for me. Because I worked so hard on it. And the day we finally performed it, I got a standing ovation for my role. When we finished the particular scene, it was a standing ovation and I got an A. And you can imagine what that did to me, because so you need to put in, you see that I'm not going to tell you that there won't be work. You may fail, and there were things I also tried and I failed. But you see, you need to know that you can do it. You need to know that you can do, and you cannot do it if you don't try. So what I want you to do to fight self-doubt, because that self-doubt is keeping you back, go out and do something. Take it when offer to do, even if they don't ask you. Maybe they become so used to you in your office that anything they ask you to do, you ask someone else to do it. This time around, offer yourself and say, can I be the one to represent this company? Can I be the one to make this presentation? Can I be the one to close out this client? Whatever it is, go out there and do it. I can't wait to celebrate you. If this has helped you, please share and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.